Hi everyone, welcome back to the Value Investor Show. Today we're going to talk about Adobe. Adobe is reporting earnings and in my opinion, things are about to change very fast. Here's why. Today I want to go through 5 main things. Firstly, Adobe's stock performance. Secondly, expectations for the third quarter of 2025. Figma's result last week. Salesforce results and the market reaction. And my view on Adobe's financials, intrinsic value, and whether I'm buying or not. As always, thank you so much for the support. It goes beyond words. If you could subscribe and like this video, it would mean a lot. It takes a lot of time to put this together, so every bit of appreciation goes a very long way. Before we dive into Adobe, I wanted to quickly show you my portfolio performance. I'm currently up 24% year to date versus 10.6% for the S&P 500. That means I'm already more than double beating the market, and in my opinion, this is just the beginning because many of my stocks haven't yet reached their full potential. I've already covered most of them here on this channel, but I'll do a full portfolio reveal once I hit 10,000 subscribers, so if you're new here, please subscribe. Now let's get into Adobe. Momentum hasn't been great. In fact, Adobe is underperforming the broader market, nearly losing 40% of its market value over the last 12 months and down 19% year to date. Beating earnings and raising guidance hasn't been enough for Adobe to turn things around. The stock performance has largely been driven by fears of competition, mainly Figma, and the evolution of AI in the creative software space. That said, most analysts actually expect Adobe to outperform in the next 12 months. On average, analysts see the stock reaching $480 per share, which is nearly 40% upside from current levels. This suggests that fear is going against fundamentals and against the true trajectory of the company. Looking specifically at third quarter expectation, revenue is expected to be $5.9 billion, which is 9% year on year. EPS is expected to be $5.18, up 11.4% year on year, driven by higher margins and share buybacks. And for context, over the last 5 years, Adobe has grown revenue at 13% CAGR and EPS at 8.5%. So my expectation is that Adobe will be at the very least meet estimates, if not beat them. Adobe has been very consistent in beating earnings. In fact, over the last 15 quarters, they've only failed to exceed expectations 3 times. Q4 2021 came in line with estimates, and Q3 and Q4 of 2022 missed revenue slightly. The last major earnings miss was 7 years ago. So this is a company that likes to underpromise and overdeliver. Now let's talk about Figma, one of Adobe's biggest competitors and a key source of investor fear. Adobe tried to acquire Figma, but the deal failed due to antitrust laws. And last week, Figma reported earnings. Revenue was up 41% year on year. Profitability reached $2.1 million, a big improvement from last year. Customer spend increased. More customers are spending more than $100,000 in annual recurring revenue. And despite the strong numbers, the market reaction was underwhelming. Shares fell 20%, driven by weak guidance for Q3 and concerns over its lofty IPO valuation. So for me, this shows 2 things. 1, it's beating earnings isn't enough. And 2, Figma is probably very overvalued right now and driven by a lot of volatility. Salesforce also reported last week and missed expectations. The stock dropped 5% as guidance failed to live up to AI hype. This weakness is spreading across the SaaS industry, the software as a service industry, and including Adobe, which fell 2% on the Salesforce news. So the bigger picture shows that software stocks are getting beaten down as investors lose patience with the lack of immediate AI-driven growth. So in terms of what investors are watching in Adobe, in my opinion, investors don't just care about Adobe beating earnings. What they really want to see is its progress with the AI-driven recurring revenue. This means Firefly and its 250 million ARR target, as well as Acrobat AI Assistant, Gen Studio Performance. AI is essentially the make or break catalyst for Adobe, and how they leverage AI will decide whether Adobe becomes stronger or risk of being replaced. In terms of quarter to quarter results, the company is performing exceptionally well. growing across creative, document experience, publishing and advertising. So I have no doubt that the company will beat or at least meet estimates, but it's all about the AI driven recurring revenue. In fact, looking back at the second quarter of 2025, revenue grew 11%, operating margin was 45%. Adobe raised full year guidance for both top and bottom lines for the fourth quarter in a row, and Firefly generated 24 billion images, and Adobe noted that they are on pace to top 250 million in ARR in AI revenue this year. So my thoughts is that Adobe's management is generally very conservative and they remain very conservative, which makes me more confident in their guidance. And with the price increases across regions and products, I think that margins will expand further this time round. Before we dive into the rest of the video, I want to thank today's sponsor, Fiscal AI. If you're serious about investing, this platform is a game changer. It gives you beautiful, clear graphs with all the KPIs you care about in absolute numbers and percentage changes. It has powerful forecasting tools so that you can project performance and even calculate a company's intrinsic value. It has industry benchmarks so you know exactly how a business stacks up, and it has detailed equity research papers with everything you need. Above all that, it's all integrated with AI so you can leverage AI in every part of your analysis. This is honestly a no-brainer platform. I use it every single day, and for a limited time you can get 15% off using my link in the description and pinned comment below. Don't miss it, sign up now. Now let's talk intrinsic value. Adobe is trading at a very attractive price point, assuming a PE ratio of 26. With my calculation and the DCF method, the intrinsic value of the company is $514, and the intrinsic value of the company with the EPS method is $464. That gives Adobe a 45% margin of safety with the DCF method and 31% with the EPS method. So both suggest that Adobe is currently undervalued, but with my margin of safety rule of 50%, Adobe still doesn't fully qualify for me. For growth assumptions, I have used 9 to 10% in terms of EPS and free cash flow growth, and 8% in revenue growth, which are significantly less than the 10-year averages. And that's because this is what the analysts expect, based as well on the last 1 to 2 year historical growth numbers. The company is still growing, but it is growing at a slower pace. So am I buying Adobe? Well, not yet. I'm very close, but I want a wider margin of safety before I actually buy Adobe. I think fears around AI replacement haven't fully bottomed out yet. That said, Adobe remains a fantastic company. It's a cash flow machine, has strong leadership and a dominant market position. For me, the key is how well they leverage AI to become irreplaceable. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this breakdown, please subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you in the next one.